Hello everybody, I'm here to show you guys how to use this document that I made, which is the VCP script template. First I want to say that this is not VCP property and I made this for VCP, but it can be applied to any theater company. What is this file? This file is a script template that can be used to type photocopies of a script if it's too illegible. Or if someone doesn't just want to deal with the photocopy, or if they want something searchable, or if they want something with the index that they can just click on in the table of contents and it'll lead them to the correct section, or there's many reasons to use this type of file. So this file was typed in LaTeX. What is LaTeX? It's a typesetting program normally used in the engineering and science field. Personally, me being a computer science student, I think it can be applied to a lot more places, which is why I'm doing something like this, applying it to the arts. You don't really need to be too savvy to use this document that I made, which is why I'm also making this video tutorial. So, in the past, I've typed scripts in Microsoft Word, and it has taken a bit of time. And I think LaTeX is better than Microsoft Word because it is also written in plain text. You don't need a license to write in it, and it's open source, and anybody can compile it on any type of computer, such as myself on a Linux machine where Microsoft Word isn't available on it. So I'll lead you through the document. This stuff is basically what I just discussed. You can find this document at this link here, and it will also be included in the description. This section here is for you to complete upon duplicating this document when you're typing it, so you can easily find out what it is and when you wrote it and when you created it and all that stuff. This section here is the variable section, which is meant for you to change. Here is where you would input the show title and it would appear in the document. Here would be the author of the show, or you if you want to put your name. This will be the PDF subject. This is not shown anywhere in the PDF, but it is used for metadata if they press more info on the PDF file itself. Same for the PDF keywords here. And the created date will also show on the cover of the document under the author. This configuration section is mainly just implementing these variables here and setting up the rest of the document, so you don't really need to worry about that part. So this statement here is basically saying that this section describes this, which is the shortcuts that I've created, so you don't need to know too much LaTeX to have it formatted properly. This section here is for you to reference to. It shows what command I've created here, and it describes what it can do, and I've also provided some examples in some cases. So things like new act will show up on the table of contents, as well as new scene. New line is to be used for every line that a character says, whether they have multiple lines in a row or whether it's a back and forth type of situation. New lines MC stands for multiple characters, so if you think that the list of characters will be too wide, then you can use this and it will write the list of characters first and then the line underneath it, so the document doesn't format badly. New stage direction is meant for italicized text, so if someone is instructed to sit down or if there is any description about the set itself, then you can use this. If there are multiple paragraphs in a row with stage directions, then it's intended for you to write this multiple times. So one command per paragraph. So this is just the beginning of the document where you don't really need to worry about it. It just sets the page numbering to Roman, so page 1 would be the start of the script, It makes the title page and the table of contents, and then sets numbers to the Arabic numbers, which is what we see today, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Here is an example. At the beginning, you would write the scene number with the new scene command, or you could add an act as well, but I'm assuming that these are for one act plays. So the scene number would go here, like you see the number 1. The scene title will go in this set of brackets, as you can see in this comment, scene 1 with its title. And here is how you define a table, which is how I formatted the script. So for example, new line, the first argument would be the character's name. In my case, that's me. And then this is what I would be saying. As you can see, I have multiple lines in a row. This is my second line in the show. This is my first yelling or singing line because they may be portrayed in the same way in the script. This uppercase command that surrounds the sentence means that in the PDF it will be printed as uppercase. This is simply for simplicity because you may not want to type caps lock on the document, or it may be easier for your eyes if it's visually appealing as a proper sentence like it is for me. It's more of a preference. You could type the sentence in all caps and neglect this uppercase command. This command here, this line is by Chip. Actually, that shouldn't be there. So that should say Hussein. So this is how I defined a stage direction to a specific person. If you know LaTeX, you could write a different way, but if not, please feel free to use my way. This basically means an indent on the second column, because the second command is in the second column. So indent, and then make italicize what's in it. So this text here would be italicized, as you can see on screen as well. And this is basically a stage direction directed at a specific person. This new page command makes a new page between lines, so you can stay in conjunction with the actual script if lines change. So say you have a specific line that's on page 37, you can also go to page 37 on this document and it would also be the same. And as you can see here, this is an example of the first line on page 2. And here is a line example for a line said by multiple characters. So that's the end of this example. And right here is where you would continue writing more scenes and lines for your own script as well. You can erase this once you have actually started writing your script. So for example, I would just copy paste this template here. As it says here, it's a template scene you can copy and paste, so it's quicker. So I would take that, copy that, and then go here and paste that. So I'm going to pretend to go off of the first part. So I'm going to type scene 2, and then I'll call it the robbery occurs, or something like that. And then I would type new line, and then in the first command I would type the character name, so I'm gonna come up with a name, say Margaret. And then the second command would be what Margaret says. So I'm gonna say drop your weapon, and then that's the first line. And then you can write more lines here, or add stage directions, or add new line MCs. And whatever is inside this section here between beginning and end of long table, that is essentially inside a table. I use long table instead of table because long table can span multiple pages, and we need this because you will be adding new pages on your own. So if we compile this, I will show you what it looks like. And I'm using Visual Studio Code with the LaTeX Workshop extension by James Yu. And if we press this button to see View LaTeX PDF, the show title will appear here, just like this variable here, show title here. So if I change this to bank robbery and save that and press compile, you see that the title has changed. So if I go down, you see the table of contents, and these are also hyperlinks, which will also work in any PDF viewer. So if I press scene 2, you're directed to the page with scene 2. And this is how the lines show up. You'll see the name bolded on the left and then the line on the right. So if we scroll up to scene 1, this is what it will look like, obviously with way more lines. You can see that Hussein is not repeated for every line, and that's because these functions were programmed this way right here, to not repeat itself. So it has, if Hussein has, you know, many lines in a row, then it doesn't just say Hussein at you and waste ink. So here would be a stage direction for Hussein. This would be the yelling or singing line, and these would be the normal lines. And obviously you can add different people's lines in a row, and they would show up here as they should. And here is the page number 1. As you can see, that it's at the start of the show, and the page before that is the table of contents, which shows Roman numerals. And I believe that's it for this document. And yeah, soon I will be making a tutorial document for the VCP captions template, which is basically preparing a script for live captioning in case they need to be displayed on a television screen instead of using PowerPoint and having to center text. Because if I wanted to center this text, let's say I just do something that won't be required of you in any way. I'll just type like that, and then you don't need to worry about what I'm doing. I'm just going to give you an example on how easy it is to center text. This is a long line of text in which I will show you how LaTeX centering works in or on any device that can compile it. So I'll save that and recompile. And as you can see, it's centered. And if I don't have this begin and end center, and take out that indent, save, recompile, it will show it's not centered anymore. And obviously everything is configurable. You can change the margin size, and everything that I'm saying here, you can Google it, like how to change margin size, how to change the font size or font color or font style, anything really. And yeah, so that's the end of the video.